Okay, what I've done is I've looked at this to make sure that we have it sawed off. And this is a white Pakistan rootstock. Is that correct, Kim?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the white Pakistan.
Okay. And the bark is slipping. You can see the bark as I peel it back there, slips very nicely. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 bark grafts on this one since the bark is slipping. So I've slipped the bark. Prepare the scion. Basically what I'm doing here is just exposing it down to the cambium on the back side before we insert it. And now we insert it. Okay. And on the near side here, you don't necessarily want to take it all the way down, but a good distance just to make sure that you got plenty of cambium contact. Over on this side, we're going to put an opposing one, and hopefully they both take. You can see from the top here, when I put my knife in, the bark slips very nicely, so this is like perfect time to do a bark graft. The only other graft that might have worked at this point in time would be maybe a modified bark graft where you go across, but I won't use that today. I have a little bit more confidence in this type. Okay, so I'm going a little bit further than I want it to. I want it to go in just so there's there's a good point. Okay, good. Now we've got those in. This is just a plastic strip that I cut out of normal grocery type plastic bags. And we're just going to wrap it up nice and tight. Try to get this as tight as possible, so I'm squeezing on the grafts while I tighten. know there's tape there. So I'm going to use electrical tape to tighten it up a little bit more. So the scions are now sealed in place, and with the electrical tape, they're not going to move at all while they're calyxing. Okay. Next thing I'll do before calling it good will be to apply some clay on the top. And what that does is it basically just seals it from weather while the calyxing occurs. So this is an Everbearing mulberry. Illinois Everbearing mulberry graft onto a white Pakistan rootstock. Is that correct, Kim?
Yeah, so the white Pakistan part is gone. We sawed it off. This part is just the hardy mulberry rootstock.
What I want to do now is quickly just put paraffin on the scions themselves. To avoid desiccation while they're healing. So there we have it.
And what do we call this type of grafting again, Dennis?
This is a bark graft. And again, the reason I chose the bark graft in this case is because we don't have anything roughly the size of these two scions to graft onto. If it had grown some branches to graft onto, I probably wouldn't use a bark graft. The bark graft in this case will be fragile for up to about a year to 2 years. So what has to happen is once they're growing, because there's only the bark that's holding it in place for strength. So what happens is she'll put a cane next to this and tie if both of these are allowed to grow for the first year, she'll just tie both of them up to a cane. And then when she's certain that one is healthier than the other, she can cut the other one off, prune it off, and let the whole thing heal up as a single trunk tree. But it'll need to be supported for at least a year, possibly 2 years, while the wood lignifies around that graft. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.